The following program is brought to you by PodcastOne Sportsnet.
All right, this episode of the Steve Austin Show is sponsored in part by DDP Yoga. Working hundreds of matches over the years, ain't no surprise that my body has taken its share of bumps and bruises. And my buddy Diamond Dallas Page knows all about the wear and tear the ring takes on your body, and his DDP Yoga fitness system was specifically designed to burn fat, reduce pain, and heal from injuries. Dallas is so positive that you'll absolutely love the DDPY program and using the DDPY app that he's doing something he ain't never done before. He's going to give you 7 days free to try it out. That's a week. Try out the program, explore the app, and own your life, and it's completely free. DDP Yoga can work for all ages, weights, and fitness levels. It's a kick-ass cardio workout that will dramatically increase your flexibility and strengthen your core like never before, all with minimal joint impact. Just for listeners of the Steve Austin Show, you can save 20% off an annual membership for the DDP Yoga Now app of any DVD pack. Just go to ddpyoga.com/Austin to get started. If you want to experience the power of DDP Yoga in person, check out one of the upcoming DDPY Inspiration Meets Perspiration workshops in the UK for one night only this Thursday, April 19th at Frome Sport and Fitness in Somerset, England. And just announced, DDP is headed to Niagara Falls on Saturday, May 12th at the Optimus Club of Niagara Falls from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Be sure to attend these incredible 3-hour workshops where you'll get to meet DDP, get a kick-ass workout, and hear DDP's secrets to staying motivated. Get your workshop tickets at ddpyogaworkshops.com.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah! Now, here's Steve Austin.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I am coming to you from the mean streets of Los Angeles, California today, sitting here at 316 Gimmick Street, working on the opening of this show, and I got a good show for you. Very interesting show. I had a couple of guests come over to 317 Gimmick Street last week and shoot the breeze with me in person, and I had a damn good time. I was really only expecting one person. Then my producer came over, recorded the whole thing, and we got a few people involved. So, Andy Williams, guitarist for Every Time I Die, is over here at 317 Gimmick Street. Shoot the breeze with him, catch up with him, what he's doing in the professional wrestling scene, the music scene, all kinds of stuff. And also, Braxton Sutter and Allie from Impact Wrestling stopped by. So get a chance to shoot the breeze and catch up with them. It was great meeting all three of these folks. We had a great conversation. Everybody just kind of weaving in and out and just shooting breeze, talking about the business of pro wrestling, everything that's going on over at Impact, stuff that's going on in Andy's life is, coming up pretty quick. He's getting ready to go back on tour with Every Time I Die. And I'll tell you what, good dude. Keeps himself together, running straight edge. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. Super successful with his band Every Time I Die and dabbling in a career in professional wrestling, and just a real interesting cat. And I had a lot of fun talking to these guys, and I told them next time you come back to L.A., stop by and we'll go for another round of audio whoop-ass. But I'll tell you what, I'm still battling. I feel a lot better than I have been feeling the last week or two. My voice is still a little bit on the mend, so I'm going to cut the open short. This is a two-part podcast that I have with these guys, and there's a couple of great one-liners that just get set up in this thing. I had a good time talking with these folks. So you're going to hear the first hour this Tuesday, and I'm going to play you the second hour this Thursday. So my guests are Andy Williams from Every Time I Die, as well as Braxton Sutter and Allie. But before we get to them and talk about everything about music and pro wrestling, I got to ask you a question. Is your home an ADT home? Well, mine is, and yours should be too. Get ADT and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. For a limited time, take advantage of ADT's lowest rates starting at just $28.99 a month from the most trusted name in home security. Plus, ADT is the first security company to help keep you safe at home and when you're on the go with their ADT Go app, which features a family locator, safe driving reports, it even includes an SOS button with 24/7 emergency response. The best part is that you get ADT Go with the purchase of any security system. Just go to ADT.com/podcast to take advantage of ADT's lowest rate. 36-month monitoring contract required. Early termination and installation fees apply. Excludes taxes and fees. Applies to traditional services only. Certain markets excluded. Licenses available at ADT.com.
Good news. For the first time ever, the Adam Carolla Show is in virtual reality. live Saturday, April 21st. Just a one-time $4.99 subscription, and you can see it on your phone or your computer in virtual 360 reality. You don't need glasses, only a web-enabled device. Experience a live show from the comfort of your own internet. It's not going to air as a regular show, so you can only see it in person Saturday, April 21st, or buy the VR download and watch on your favorite device. Get it at PodcastOne.com/Corolla VR. PodcastOne.com/Corolla VR.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
Oh, hell, I'm sitting here with Andy Williams from Every Time I Die. He plays guitar. Also, Allie. And when he comes out of the John, Braxton Sutter. I'll be calling him Jesse today. How are you, man?
I'm good. We just got to California last night.
From where?
Buffalo, New York. Yeah.
Airplane mode. We're doing a podcast. You just screwed us all up with the podcast. Ain't never going to win the award. You keep this shit up. Jesse, welcome to the table. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me. Honestly, really, thank you for having us.
Well, man, when Sean said everybody was coming over, I didn't do the math and say, well, hell, I didn't know that you guys were working in the business.
Yeah. I didn't.
I just thought Andy rolled over this big ass posse. How y'all all know each other?
We're married.
I know you two guys.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you and her are.
Yes.
How do y'all know Andy?
I went to high school with 3 of his band members: the vocalist, guitar player, and bass player, and we knew each other through hardcore shows too.
But I've been obsessed with wrestling since I was a kid. So the minute I found out that the dudes were friends with the wrestler, it was just kind of like, oh hey, what are you doing? And he went to train with Les Thatcher, and I freaked out. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I was 20 at that time when the band started, and he went to go train with Les right around that time when the band started.
I always said whenever I would come home to visit for holidays and stuff, and I would see Andy, I kind of knew him through the other guys, and he knew everything that I was doing. I always thought that was so cool.
And we backyarded at the same time. So I was backyarding at the same time he was backyarding.
Backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
when you're backyarding, and who's the voice of authority or reason?
Oh, there's none.
None.
Exactly.
It's you and your friends.
Yeah. It's just hey, we're gonna throw you through this sheet metal. Is that cool? Yeah. All right.
There's no real wrestling.
It's cool.
But when you're 20, it sounds like a good idea.
Oh yeah.
These days, not so much.
No.
Hey man, was that down in OVW?
Yeah, I was at HWA in Cincinnati with Les, and then I did some stuff with Cornette.
That was Heartland, right?
Heartland Wrestling Association, and then OVW. Louisville's only 2 hours from there, I think. So I went down there and did some stuff with Cornette. He would call some of Les's boys down there sometimes to come down there and do TV spots and stuff like that.
Les is good people, and he's a great trainer.
How long
ago was this?
My first match was in '99.
Jesus Christ, you old grizzled veteran! Was it 20 years in the business?
It weirds me out because
you're only 35,
37.
Okay, that's close. I should work at a circus. I can guess ages and weights.
It always freaks me out because you said your career was 15 years, right?
Man, give or take, really about 13 because I broke in the back end of 1989. I was a 90 Rookie of the Year. I got to get that plug in. Back in, it was to shoot.
40 years old. I was.
You got Rookie of the Year this year.
I'm not Rookie. I was number 2 this year.
Yeah, so I busted in basically in 90, and then I got out in 2003. So I barely made 13 years, and that's with a C3-4 surgery. Crazy. And also I took that break when I told him, I ain't going to do that JOB.
Yeah.
Took my ball and went home. So, but it lasted about 13. God dang, you know what? On one hand, I left a lot of money on the table, and I wish I would have been able to stay in the business. Yeah. But on the other side of that, because I stopped taking the beatings at 38, I probably would have ran till I was at least 42, 43. Maybe a little bit, depending on what happened, but at least, the beating stopped, and I feel, once I turn back into civilian mode, I feel pretty good.
Yeah. Your body feels better. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you always ask everybody how their body is. How's your body?
How's yours?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm good, on a 1 to 10. If a 10 is a whole lot of pain, man, I'm on a 0 to 1.
That's awesome.
Every now and then you have those rough days where you just kind of do. But other than that, man, I don't have anything to complain about. Hang on, let me get another Vike. Andy didn't know where to shit or why to go.
You're a little nervous.
Oh my God! Dude, tell me how you feel. I was watching some of your videos when you were on tour with Every Time I Die. You guys been around forever.
Yeah,
really successful. And I was like, watching you pull out all this stuff. You got your peanut butter, you eat avocado every day, you got sweet potatoes, you got your stash. I mean, I was like, I got a lot of things in common with this guy just as far as diet.
Yeah.
And also, you don't really do catering.
No, I can't wait in lines.
So what's the deal, man? I mean, are you eating a bunch a day? What are you weighing? I mean,
now,
you look good.
I'm about 240 right now. I've been holding 240, but I have a torn rotator cuff and my biceps starting to tear at the top. So I haven't been able to do any push exercises since mid-December. So like everything right now is like deadlifts. I can do a shit ton of pull-ups for some reason.
It's
so
the deadlifts,
weird,
you can do that stuff because I had both rotators and I know exactly what you're talking about. And that bicep starts fraying and it attaches. So I got both of them reattached and both rotators done.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that sucks
Tuesday, I'm literally having the surgery Tuesday.
You got a good doctor?
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. At University of Buffalo, this guy named Dr. Wind, he's supposed to be like the guy.
In Buffalo?
Yeah.
In Buffalo.
Yeah.
Something's going on over here.
Yeah, what's going on?
Kelly, my black lab, my prized possession.
Oh, is that it?
It's kind of in a compromising position over there.
She's licking my face.
Yeah.
I apologize for that. She does that to guys as well. Callie, get your ass over here.
She's excited, man.
There's no way that this podcast is going to win a damn award with this kind of shit.
Right. This is natural. It's organic.
wants to be part of it.
We've got a bunch of people from the world of wrestling here, but the world of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Because that was my first dream. I wanted to be in the music business. I've told this story before. I sucked ass. I got no musical talent. Turns out I did okay in the wrestling business, and here we sit. But, man, on the grind, on the road, are you basically doing indies?
Yeah, I'm doing indies. I like that. My wrestling, I just love wrestling, and I don't have aspirations on it. It's not something I just love. I'm on the fence about the whole like wrestling is art thing. I don't, you know what I mean? But I'm obsessed with everything that has to do with getting in there and working a match. And like once I figured it out, like it's a lot like writing a song when you're calling a match with a person. And once I could adapt that to music, like my writing and that, I mean, it's literally the same thing. If you're meeting a guy for the first time, usually when you're like lacing up boots, and I'm stealing this from Matt Cross because this is how Matt Cross said it to me, is he was like, you're lacing up your boots, you're meeting a guy for the first time, you're writing a song, and then you're going and performing it in front of people like in minutes. And then you go out there and you do it, and it's like, wow. And then you go back, and if it's great, you're like, oh, wow, we just kind of like wrote a really good song.
I wrote a couple of hits, and I wrote some real shit.
It happens, man. It's
real stickers.
Hey, man, tell me about the grind about being on the road, though, because how many days are you guys doing? I saw you all loaded up in your bus. You got your bunks.
Yeah.
And it reminded me, back when I first started working, I just quit working on the freight dock. I was working out in Dallas, Texas with the Von Erichs, and Jerry Jeter just bought the territory. So I'm like a dumbass, 2 months in the business, heels coming in, just beating the shit out of me. White meat, baby face.
Yeah.
Don't know a damn thing. Jerry, when can I start working full time? Hell, Steve, I think you're ready now. Jerry Jarrett was leasing Waylon Jennings' tour bus.
Yeah.
So after the Thursday spot show on the
I've
weekly
never heard
territory,
this. That's awesome.
Oh, man, yeah, we'd get in that tour bus, and it reminded me of y'all's setup with all the bunks that y'all had in there. We'd drive all night to get to Dallas, Friday morning. We'd work Dallas Friday night. Everybody go to the liquor store because the sporting farm was surrounded by liquor stores. You'd get beer, whiskey, whatever your flavor was, get back on the bus, drive all night to get to Memphis, Tennessee, do live TV, get back on the bus, go get your car from the spot show, go back to your hotel, take a shower, go work Nashville at the Coliseum or the Fairgrounds, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, just watching you on tour with that bus reminded me back in those days when we were on that tour bus. So out on the road, is being in the rock and roll business tougher or being on the grind with wrestling?
Like with wrestling, I think it's so I'm with him most of the time. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm with one of my best friends, like traveling around, and we get along so well. It's I don't even like the wrestling part is like it doesn't hurt my body like playing does. Like I sit in a van or I sit in a bus. Like, we only do a bus once a year. If we're doing, like, a big tour, we'll do a bus. Like, we're definitely greedy when it comes to money. We like to save as much as we possibly can.
You're still cramming a van.
So, like,
years.
we just did a 42-day tour in a 15-passenger van and made a really good amount of money because we saved a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? So that's just the way we've always been. And, like, you can definitely, like, we have 2 dudes in the band that have kids, and you can tell that it's getting on their nerves. Like, come on, guys. Like, if we take a bus, I can like have my wife and my kid here for a couple days. And I get it, but at the same time, it's like, well, when the tour's over, you can go wherever the fuck you want in the world because you have enough money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, like that 42-day tour, like I'm hurting right now, like pretty bad. Getting like workouts in is like one thing too. Like, I'll get up early in the morning and go. And usually it's like we get to the hotel around like 3 a.m. And then I have to get up at 6, get to the gym, get a workout in, get back to the van before the van takes off, usually around 9 o'clock. And then you drive 6-7 hours. You get to the venue and, set up.
Are you like a gym junkie? Because, I mean, that's a pretty good commitment to always, make the gyms. Me not being a body guy,
Yeah.
a lot of guys, I mean, I would go to the gym, damn near every day.
Yeah.
But, man, if I stayed out too late, kind of living the gimmick and drinking a
Of
bunch of
course.
beer, I'd miss some. But some of those guys are just hardcore. Is that just who and what you are? You've always been into weightlifting?
Growing up, I was into lifting, not as much as I was in like recent years. Like I had like a weird, like, I guess like 34 years old. Like when I was 34, I just stopped giving a shit and just ate what I wanted, did what I wanted. And then there's like some awesome pictures of me. One,
Shoddy pictures.
we're wrestling for bar wrestling tonight in LA. And they like found just a high res picture of me on the internet, and it's like the worst picture possibly found. Like fat, hairy, just like that, and it sucks so bad. And I'm like, I'm totally not that guy anymore, man. Like, can you just? And like, it got to the point of like, there's no clean pictures of you, and my wrestling mind isn't there to get like promo pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just don't. I don't do the 8x10 thing.
I do that. Oh yeah. There's one thing I cannot stand is still photo. You want to roll video, get a promo, this, that, whatever. I'm down, but the still photo.
It's so weird.
I got like 3 looks. Like mad, almost mad, and just normal.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the picture that always makes the rounds, if it's a Google alert for Stone Cold or whatever, it's me in this gray shirt. I was doing a commercial for a fast food chain. And the dude that was, charge of wardrobe, I think he looked good in that gray shirt. Dude, I had a drum. I was weighing 275 at the time. And I was trying to be a team player because I thought it might lead to something else.
Of course.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Ray, I need to be wearing black.
Yeah.
And so I was like, forever, that picture still haunts me to this day. You'll find it anytime you see a picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's that picture in the gray picture on his shirt.
That's me. That's this one shirtless picture of me just standing there with a beanie on.
Yeah, like a hat on.
Yeah, like
a curly
little,
mustache.
yeah, like little, just like bitch tits.
It's the
And
worst. And I feel
just
like promoters sometimes they just find the worst picture of you and they plaster it on posters.
Yeah.
You're like, really, of all the pictures of me, you chose that one?
Yeah,
That's
from 10
what I
years
was
With
ago.
all
So
the
I'm glad-
lighting and like my hair. Oh, it's the worst.
I'm just glad that I'm not the only one.
Oh, gosh, no.
There's a bunch of shit out there. Couldn't you find nothing better than that?
Yeah.
It's
And
just
then
hilarious.
you don't want to plug
It happens to
it.
you too.
No.
I don't want to retweet that.
Yeah.
Like, I look
Oh,
awful.
I refuse to.
Yeah, no way.
The band, also with the band, like it's when you see Every Time I Die, it's always like, which one of these doesn't belong here? There's like dudes that are like normal human beings, and then just like this weird giant in the corner. And it always looks weird, like when you see us, and there's never good pictures. There's good pictures of them, and then it's like, oh, and there's there's the fat sister. You know what I mean? Like there's the bridal shower, and then like the weird out of shape cousin in the background, because it's just them looking like rockers, and then like me just like.
The mutant.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, you kind of cleaned up a little bit,
Big
man.
time.
I mean, you damn near got like a white meat baby face persona going.
There we
Big
go.
edge, handlebar, brushy mustache.
Yeah.
There we go.
You knocked off all the beard. What happened? I mean, when I seen you walking, I was like, that's him.
Yeah. I can grow a beard in
I seen a
like
better picture of him on the internet.
Yeah.
What
Of
happened?
course. I can grow a beard in like 45 minutes. So like
So I didn't get caught up in a blender and was an accident.
No, but I've had that happen. Not the blender part, but I've had the accident part happen. I'm sure you've probably had that done where like you just nick off a little bit of the
Dude,
goatee.
Yeah, I'm always trimming my stuff up, and I shaved just this morning for you guys.
Yeah.
One of
Oh,
my nice
thank you very
professional-
much.
Yeah, you're
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
Let me take a couple of bows. But every now and then, my shit ain't all thick like yours. Boy, you put a little nick in there, it's like, dude,
It goes
are
a long
you
way.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Now I
And
got
then
to color that shit in with a piece of brown or something like that.
Yeah, that's like with me. It's like I can grow it. It's just it comes like that. And I had like a full beard. It was like huge, but like when I try to like differentiate between wrestling and band guy. So like the band guy always has a beard. When I wrestle, I always shave down to a stash, like some sort of mustache. And, like, we kind of have, like, kind of a little gimmick, like the Butcher and the Blade. So, like, he has a beard. So if I had a beard and he had a beard, we'd just be two bald, bearded guys. Yeah. And there's, like, a million balded guys wrestling right now. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Ray Rowe. I like, just off the top of my head, like,
Gallows.
Yeah, there's so many dudes. So it's like, I'll just be the big guy with the mustache. I kind of look like the old-time, like, strongman guy. And
so you guys doing what? Y'all working a bar show? Or?
Yeah,
it's called bar wrestling.
Yeah.
Bar wrestling. So you working?
Yeah. We're doing a 6-man. Me, him, and Nate Brody King back here.
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
I'm wrestling. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm wrestling a girl, Chris Wolf, I believe.
How long you been working? Because you're from Canada, right?
I'm from Toronto, yeah.
Just say current Impact Wrestling champion.
Knockouts champion.
I apologize, man. I DVR WWF. I always do it. Then I just fast forward through it.
Yeah, of course.
How long you been working?
14 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
There's a veterans at the table.
Yeah.
Who trained you? Don't tell me Lance Storm.
No.
Okay.
Rob Fuego in Toronto. Squirt Circle training. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long was that process? And did you adapt to it very quickly, or were you slow?
Oh no, I was god awful. I was terrible.
I was too.
Yeah, it was.
I always loved people say, "Oh, it's natural."
Yeah.
No,
Kurt Angle was the only natural I ever saw.
Yeah.
I wish I could say like, yeah, I walked in and I had it. No, I was terrible. I'd never played sports. And then I signed up on my 18th birthday, and I rolled both my ankles.
Was it taking a hip toss?
Giving a hip toss.
Oh, giving a hip toss. Yeah.
Yeah, I was terrified to run under leapfrogs. I thought I was just so scared I was going to smash my head. So it took me about 8 months before I had a match. And
what in the blue hell made you decide, hey, let me go get in pro wrestling?
Oh, I've watched it since I was a kid. I was a huge fan growing up.
You had to grow up more of a WWF/E because of where you're located.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, it was way more regional, different territories.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember even because, during like WCW and WWF and the wars and all that, like I hated WCW because I felt like if I watched it, I would be betraying WWF.
You would have been.
Yeah, so I remember like my friends like WCW and I was just appalled. I was like, I can't believe you're even watching.
I was more of a WCW person.
You were?
I was, man.
Andy, you can take the window, you can take the stairs. Either way, you got to go.
It was one of those things where, like,
please stand out in the driveway while I finish talking to Allie and Jesse.
We were fortunate enough that, like, right when that all happened, I was like 18 years old, so I had to like work. So like, I would come home and I would catch Raw, and then they would do like a WCW it was like 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning. They would do the recap of Nitro. So I would just stay awake. I remember at this point in time, I was probably 18 years old. I remember when Flair, this is a great story because I scared the shit out of my mom. Remember when Flair got his head smashed in like the cage and then he took like 6 months off or 7 months off? I came home from work, watched Raw. It was fine. I could get a little nap in until that next one, and then I had to watch it. And I remember Flair coming back, and I like jumped, like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" My mom and dad are like freaking out. They're like, "What is going on? Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Flair's back! Flair's back! Flair's back!" Just like screaming. So yeah, I'm a mark. Okay, go ahead.
That's okay. I am too. I had the same reaction when HBK came back after he lost his smile.
Yeah.
It was like I stayed up really late to watch the replay of Raw. My mom was sleeping, and I had the same reaction when I saw him come out. I was like bawling my eyes out. I was like, "Oh my god, he's back!" It was just like this huge moment.
What were you guys' thoughts when you were watching the Monday Night Wars? Because we were in the trenches, and like DVRs, that was DVRs. It was damn near VHS. You really couldn't watch each other's shit because you were always on the road. We were competing head to head with them.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I'd go back and I'd see a little bit about what they were doing, or if they had a monitor on me, watching what they were doing. And it'd be like, I'd see the ratings, and they kicked our ass for 2 years. Dude, they had a pretty good opening, and it was really hot. And I dug what they were doing. They had a lot of talent down there. But we started doing some really edgy stuff, and we were still getting our asses handed to us in the ratings. I'm like, man, what the fuck do we got to do to beat these guys? I mean, because back then, as far as, and y'all can tell me this, the best time, or one of the best times to be a wrestling fan was when the wars were going on, because there was pay-per-view quality stuff every single week on TV, and I was like, man, what does it take to beat these guys? We finally did. What were you thinking about that time?
Those were like my prime years, because that's when I was like 17, 18 years old, and that the wars was, me and him were like the exact opposite. Like I was same as her. I was all WWF, WWE growing up during those prime years too, and then he watched like WCW.
I was a freak though. Like Japan was like my big thing. Like when I was a kid, I used to actually get in fistfights on the bus when a dude would say that Hulk Hogan was the champion, and I would be like, "No, Ric Flair is the champion.
Yeah.
You got that wrong." And like I just was never a WWF guy because like when I was a kid, it was like really cartoony. And then when you'd watch like WCW or like NWA, like Dusty's getting his ankle broken. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
That was a heavy duty angle.
Yeah.
Where were you going to go with
Sorry.
what you were talking about? No, I want to segue back because I want to get more on the comparison between where Hulk Hogan was and where Flair was as far as your perspective as a wrestler on how they were impacting the business. Flair being the last NWA champion to really do it worldwide like he did for so long. But before we do that
was during the Monday Night Wars. It was just such a cool time to be a fan. Like, I mean, especially for me, like 17, 18 years old. Like, I mean, friends of mine in high school that didn't even like wrestling, they would get together to watch Raw and flip to the other channel and watch WCW at the same time.
Same.
Yeah, it was such an unreal time in wrestling.
Like every Monday was like a new party. Like you would get together every Monday and watch both sides. And
every single week.
That's definitely where I swung, like where I started watching a lot of WWF, like WWE or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it was right around that time because
when they started doing like the edgy stuff with him and everything.
Well, that was like the funny thing is like you'd watch it just to see what the hell was going to happen next. It wasn't even the wrestling at that point in time. The matches were great. Like now that you go back and you watch them, you're like, oh shit, like there was some really good matches at that time. But it was more like, what is going to happen? Like, what are these dudes going to do? You know what I mean? Like this week.
Man, I would show up to Monday Night Raw. I mean, we were on the road. I mean, it was hot and heavy.
Yeah.
We were on the road for 25 days a month. And all of a sudden, man, we roll into Raw, and it'd be like, hey, you're burned out, you was tired, but you was excited about doing live TV. Or, that one period when I first got there, we were doing one live and then another show that night post. But you always look forward to it because I didn't know what the hell he's going to have me doing, especially when I started getting hot.
Yeah.
It was damn near therapeutic for me. Steve, you want to hear what you're doing tonight? Yeah. Well, we thought you'd drive a monster truck, crush spots, and leave a Continental, or drive a cement truck, or do this. I mean, it was all kinds of cool stuff. And like every time I showed up, it was like being a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
And, most time in school, but if it sucked, I would let them know it sucked.
Yeah. And that was I think that was the thing that I was saying is like we on our podcast we're like covering all the nitros from 1997 because that's kind of when the pendulum started swinging.
I didn't watch. He did.
And the reason why is because I just was like, I'm going to watch. I'm just going to go watch. And it was Gregory Irons and Ricky Shane Page told us we needed to watch 2000 Nitro because it's just straight dog shit. It's the worst stuff ever. Like Tank Abbott wrestling his friend Al
on pay-per-view.
On a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like, so we watched the match and I was like, yo, I'm going to watch 97 because that's when I really liked it.
That's when like Raven and the Flock came into play. Goldberg came into play. Booker T started doing single stuff. It's really interesting to watch.
The crazy thing was like as like a grown adult now, like looking back, it was straight up the Wild West. Dude, Hector Guerrero would just show up and then be in a storyline for 3 Nitros and then just disappear. And then like all these random dudes, like all these New Japan guys would like show up and then you'd be like, oh, they're gone. Okay. It's just insane. Like when you watch it, it's just the craziest thing. It seemed like the only time they really cared about the storytelling was when it came to like Kevin Nash and those guys. And that was it. And then like the under guys were just kind of like, hey, it's Monday. Go out there and do your thing, man. Go ahead. You're going to work that guy. Okay, great. And it's just wild. Like it's crazy. And then when you watch WWE, you go back and you watch that stuff now. It's like everything is so meticulous. And like the storytelling from like the first match to the main event was a show. It's just wild that they just let that happen.
Man, some of those guys that came over, like Dean Malenko's, the Guerreros, the Saturns, the Benoits. I mean, a lot of those guys could work their ass. But then there was a lot of them because, I mean, the business has changed a lot as we're here now in 2018. But when you go back in and some of those people try to cross over, man, it's like, dude, if you can't go, you'll get exposed.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you had to go.
Yeah.
I feel like that still happens today, though, too. Like you said, like some guys, they're real hot on the indies, but then they get a real shot and they can get exposed real easy. You know what I mean? On TV.
Dude, how is the indies? I mean, what's the talent level out there? Or how safe do you feel going out there? Or have you wrestled everybody on the indies?
I haven't wrestled everybody on the indies, but like the indies right now is like, honestly, it's like there's WWE and then there's Impact and then New Japan, and then the indies are just their own thing, like their own fed right now. It's so hot.
Yeah.
Like every single show. I mean, there's like, obviously you'll go to like some towns, like some small towns, and it'll be like 100 people, and they'll have like 300 chairs set up, and then like they'll have one big indie name on it, and then like the show's kind of okay. But like for the most, like we work for Smash Wrestling in Toronto like regularly, and like every show is hot as hell.
Crowd is so hot every single.
And it's like
every single
three,
show.
4 shows a month.
And they
they
bring
run a
in
lot.
all the names.
Like in like 200-300.
But they're so loud and so hot that it's just like
it's one of those like in a
great.
Smaller building, but they cram
Yeah.
200-300 in there,
and they have like good lighting
they're rocking.
and all those little things that make
Production.
a show special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cool part for me is they work at like music venues that I've played. So it's awesome to like go in there and see it in a different capacity. It's like, oh man, we just played here and now I'm wrestling here. This is so cool.
What kind of crossover do you get? Do you get a lot of your, people that are fans of Every Time I Die come out to the shows?
Yeah, it all depends on like the place, like for sure. Like Smash definitely does a really good job with that. Like I
because
wrestled.
they advertise you as like
Yeah.
Andy from Every Time I
Yeah.
Die.
I would say most shows we do, people come up to him at the merch table that are fans of his band almost
Yeah.
every time.
I did like last year, like all three of us did that Joey Janela's Spring Break or whatever.
It was so much
Right
fun.
on.
And it was
oh
like
my
WrestleMania
gosh.
weekend.
It started at midnight.
It was
We didn't
crazy. We
wrestle until
wrestled
like
each
1
other.
o'clock.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It was so
I
fun.
lariated her. Like the first
Yes.
move of the match, I just took her head
Sure
off.
did. Yeah,
It
you
was
sure
awesome.
did.
And then I got yelled at.
But you
because-
didn't call it leapfrog spot.
No, there was no
I deserved it though. I knocked your hat off your head.
Yeah, I got yelled at because I sold her like super kick, like she shot me in the face with a shotgun.
Well, why wouldn't you sell it?
Exactly, man. That's like it's one of my best friends.
Honestly, did you snug him with it?
She probably did.
Yeah, probably did.
I know I
Probably
snugged her
did.
with that lariat.
Oh yeah, you did. You definitely did. Yeah.
But
Hey,
yeah,
what are you guys talking about when you're riding down the road? Y'all were on that 42-day tour.
Yeah.
So you're saving money.
Yeah.
Okay. When we're riding down the road after one wrestling show to the next, we're booking the territory.
yeah. of
So
course.
after a show, what do you got? Are you booking the music scene or what?
I don't, it's really because we've been all like me and the two brothers in the band and our bass player have all been doing this for 20 years together. So like now.
You're just all reading books. Okay.
Yeah, it's like listening to our headphones. Like a lot of times it's like listening to music or like we'll check out podcasts and stuff like that. Like my dudes aren't like the biggest wrestling fans, but they like every time I listen to your podcast, like they'll like the little like nuances that you have, they like trip out over. Like they love the word gimmick because you like say gimmick for everything. We had a chance like Kevin Nash likes the band a lot or whatever, and we had a chance to like stay at his house and like. We were walking the house and they were all like, yo, like, I cannot wait until he says gimmick. He's going to say gimmick about something. And like we roll in the house and sure enough, we're like up there and like minutes are going by and we're all like looking at each other and like Kevin still hasn't said the word gimmick. And we're like, come on. He's got to say it. And then like he's walking us upstairs and he's showing us like places to sleep. And then he's like, oh yeah, you can go over there in that room over there. And, there's like a bed and like this like little gimmick and we were all like behind his back like freaking out like little kids like oh my god yeah so like it's really funny when they like listen to the podcast like every time you say gimmick they
It's
will
like
just,
I've been with my wife for 14 years, been married about 9. I just got finished filming a low budget movie in Vancouver, and I was drinking on the flight home. We got married right there in our house by the fireplace.
Yeah.
My wife still says that I don't remember getting married. I do. Barely. I do. But anyway, it's like, now, like we were talking about something the other day, and she goes, oh, that gimmick thing or whatever. So,
Yeah.
like, I've got a couple words that,
Yeah.
like she'll speak. We don't speak carny.
Yeah,
We
right.
don't speak exclusive wrestling
Of
lingo.
course.
Yeah.
But there's those few trademark words that, I just couldn't live without.
the guys call the merch table the gimmick table now.
I got
Oh
that.
yeah.
The gimmick table. Oh, it's
Yeah,
over there. It's
Y'all
the gimmick
speak
table.
carny each other. Y'all leave the business behind. How long y'all been together?
I've been married.
You've been married 5 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, how is that? Because I'm on number 4.
Yeah.
And my wife right now is my soulmate, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With us, like it's weird. Like I don't know, being in the business together is amazing.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
we travel together.
We didn't want to work together at all. I remember when we started dating, it was like we're
Yeah,
keeping
no
this
way.
separate. Like I'm not your manager. We're not teaming.
Yeah, we're
like
not
we're very
tag team.
separate. And then we got tossed together at CZW, and they wanted us to do like this fitness gimmick, couple gimmick. And we just had instant chemistry, and it was sort of like, okay, this is stupid. If we don't work together, we're being dumb.
Yeah.
And then we just started traveling together all the time. Like we were going up to CCW, every month we'd go. It's like an 8-hour drive-ish. Yeah. And then we started doing a bunch of indies together and teaming together and doing all the things we said we wouldn't.
We still refuse to wrestle against each other.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've always said. I will not wrestle my husband. Yeah. I just think that's
silly.
Silly, yeah. But and then we did a bunch of tryouts with Impact together, and then when they offered us deals, they offered it to us together, and it was. It was cool to come full circle after working so hard together for, 4
for the two of us, that was like our first contract, first job in wrestling. They offered it was at the same time together. So
how about that? Not to get into the numbers, but how about that contract situation? Because you've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And so have you. There's been a couple of times, man, where I was sitting in a room with Vince, Jim Ross and another guy.
Yep.
You're sitting there negotiating a contract. It's like we've all signed a few of them. Of course, I signed a few in WCW and USWA. I mean, that's like a handshake.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to negotiate a contract and say, "Oh man, you don't need a lawyer," it's like, well, you only got like 3 or 4 or 5 of them. It's like what I always liked about Hogan was he was one of the first guys to ever use a lawyer because he was smart enough and big enough and basically smart enough to have a lawyer. So man, you got to lawyer up. But
it's funny. It's funny you say that because it was after our the first contracts we signed were a year, and then when time came around to re-sign, we thought it was going to be a piece of cake, but there was some back and forth.
Yeah, and I work for a lawyer, or I did work for a lawyer, so that helped me a lot. I was able to sit down with her, and but I think it's so important to have good representation.
Did you have a college background?
I do, but not for.
But you got some street smarts.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I just think especially for wrestlers, I don't know if this sounds weird, but I feel like, especially when you've come up on the indies and you've worked for years and years and years to get a deal, I think it's easy to sort of be taken advantage of if you don't realize what you bring to the table and what you're worth and your value. And I think it's so important to know all those things and have somebody represent you on that.
All right, let's take a quick pause for the calls and give big ups to TrueCar. Now, you're looking to buy a car, you're probably familiar with terms like MSRP, and you might even know what it stands for. But what does it actually mean? The same goes for invoice, list price, and dealer price. It's enough to confuse anybody. All you're really looking for is a price that actually means something. Introducing True Price from TrueCar. Now you can know exactly what you'll pay for the car you want, including fees and accessories before you even get to the dealership. TrueCar dealers will show you the true price on cars like the one you want, all from the comfort of home. And how do you know if your true price is a great price? Because TrueCar shows you what other people paid for the same car you want. And your certified dealers know this, so they set their true price competitively so they can win your business. So when you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features not available in all states. You're also going to need car insurance for that new vehicle. Go to geico.com, and in 15 minutes, you could be saving 15% or more on car insurance. That's right. Save hundreds of dollars on car insurance at geico.com. Extra money in your pocket? It may just be the most rewarding thing you do today.
What's it like for you watching games of your son coaching?
Agonizing.
It's a family affair on Attack Each Day, the Harbaugh's podcast.
I didn't know there was actual work here.
Recent guests include Rich Eisen, John Harbaugh, Judge Judy, and John Madden.
I thought one of the greatest jobs in coaching in the NFL was Jim's first year with the 49ers.
Exclusively on Podcast One Sportsnet. Get episodes every Tuesday on Podcast One and Apple Podcasts.
Great time to be a Wolverine.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
Y'all are married, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you ask her? She asked you.
Oh, I asked her.
Okay. How did this go down? Was it a big romantic setup or what?
Yeah,
it was very romantic.
Punta Cana.
We were in Dominican.
We went there for your cousin's. Her cousin was getting married.
Yeah.
And then we got engaged.
Was this out of the blue? Did you spring it on her? Did she kind of know what was coming?
Well, I'm obviously Canadian, and we had decided that we wanted to get married at some point, especially because we were doing long distance.
Living in 2 different countries.
In 2 different countries. But I don't know. I guess I just thought we would just get married and whatever. I didn't expect a proposal. And he totally upgraded our room. He had flowers and roses everywhere. And I was in the back of my head, I was going okay, I got to look good all week because this might happen. And of course he asked me when we had just got off the plane and I looked like total crap. And he got down on one knee.
I love the fact that you moved your hair and did this thing. We're on camera right now. By the way, I gotta want to expose her right now. So we're like at the hotel or whatever, and she's like, "Does this look good for Stone Cold? Does this like?" And she's like putting on all these things, and she stuff. And I'm like, I'm wearing a Bull Nakano shirt. I'm dressed exactly like Nate. So Nate comes to pick us up, and Nate goes, "We're dressed exactly the same." And I'm like,
green jeans and black t-shirt.
I didn't want to look like I'm totally like athleisure 24/7. I didn't want to look like a total bum.
Yeah, and that was like a big thing. It's like I get super nervous about everything. So like at the minute like Sean hit me up about this, my nerves started. And then on top of that, like I'm wrestling tonight, I usually like to know who I'm wrestling just so I can like watch some stuff. I have no idea who I'm wrestling tonight. Like we're wrestling in a 6-man. I have no idea. So that nerve is there. Then meeting you, that's nerves right there. Like all this stuff just like comes over, and then she's just like trying on all this stuff, and I'm just like, guys, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. Come on.
Yeah.
We have like.
I didn't even realize I was throwing clothes all over the hotel
room. We gotta make a good impression. Like this, we're representing Buffalo here.
Yeah, I got a text message. Hey man, we're outside, and so y'all were down the street, and I walked out. I said, like, although I am a global icon and a national treasure, I dress like a piece of trash. I was just waiting for you to text me back. Yeah, are you anywhere by the homeless dude out in front of the house?
I almost didn't see you because you're in camouflage.
We all did pop though, because you had like the short shorts on, the camo, the Stone Cold hat. We're like, okay, this is great.
God dang. So where did you pop the question at over there? Did you get down on your knees the whole thing?
I did the knee.
Yeah. I totally cried too. I totally cried. I'm not like a crier, especially not around people, and I totally was a girl. I was like, oh my god, it's happening.
Yeah, pretty much like because I had the ring on me, and like we traveled internationally, so I had to make sure I didn't lose it.
I was so impressed.
I just wanted to like when we got this, just like, okay, let's just do this now so we can enjoy so I can enjoy the rest of the vacation and not just be stressed.
Did you work him? Did you pause? You said, I don't know.
No. I wish that I could have, but I was so like, I was a total girl, cried and everything. Yeah.
And I'd planned to ask my wife. We had a ranch in South Texas, and we sold it. But back in the day, there's my favorite deer stand on the south side of the property called Johnny Cash. And after been married 3 times, they all went south. Uh-huh. And man, I don't need to get married again. But my wife had never been married, so we're at a time and place where something's got to happen. Yeah. And this is the one. I wish I would have met her a long time ago, and I'd actually have a studio here. I'm kidding. Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking, okay, how do I, where am I going to ask her, to marry me at? So I figured, you know what? I'm going to ask her to marry me in Johnny Cash, the deer stand. Yeah. The deer stand is 12 feet up. It's taller than this ceiling here. So I'd gone down there earlier in the day, put a couple glasses of wine, a couple Gimmick candles. See what I did there? Gimmick candles.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to get her a band, and the jewelry store where I was at, some dude was getting his battery changed, and he just couldn't show me the ring that I wanted, just a band. And finally I said, dude, I got to go. Let me out of here. So I got one of my old wedding rings, and I just got a pair of wire snips, cut it, bent it around as a jerry rig type temporary thing. Yeah. Handmade ring. So we go up there, we're in the Ford Bronco, and it's fixing to start raining cats and dogs. So I get my backpack, I go up to the top of the deer stand, and I'm lighting the candles, right? And I give her a wave. And she's thinking, like, a lot of times you have, traffic coming through there. I mean, there could be illegals coming through there, and they'll stand in deer stands. Yeah. So she thought maybe something was up. Oh. And because we're down there, this is 100 miles from the border in South Texas. Yeah. And she goes, well, I guess I'll go up there and see what's up. And sure enough, when she came up there, she saw the setup, and that's when I popped.
There you go. There you go.
I said, okay, well, the thunder clouds are rolling in like a sumbitch. I said, I poured a little wine, and it was hotter than shit too. Right. It was like 100 degrees. Yeah. And this little 4x6 deer stand.
Clouds are coming.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, clouds are coming.
We got the Bronco, and it just calmed down.
That's
you married?
No, I'm not married.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I'm not married, no. 40 years old. I have a girlfriend, but yeah.
How does she feel about all this?
She's real supportive. Like she's probably.
How long you known her?
I've known her probably. It's short. We've been probably dating for like 4 months now, but like, she's from like the fitness world. She like is like a fitness like a model, bikini model, and it's like tonight's her first wrestling gig ever. Yeah. She's flying down from Petaluma, so like she gets in at like 5. And then has to be back to Petaluma for work at like 7 in the morning. So like she's only going to be here. She's going to like get wrestling in for the first time and then fly right back.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
I'm excited for her to see it.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty but she's super open-minded about stuff, and she thinks it's funny that I'm a 40-year-old dude trying to hurt my body as much as I am. And
how long do you want to do the wrestling thing?
I don't know. I don't the shoulder thing kind of bummed me out when it happened.
Did you do that in the ring or in the gym?
So I think the bicep thing happened. I think my rotator cuff's been torn for a while. Because when I got the MRI, that's what they said. They were like, "Oh yeah, your rotator cuff's probably been torn for a bit."
You did it. It was throwing a clothesline, wasn't it?
Yeah, just throwing a normal clothesline.
Normal clothesline, and you ripped your rotator cuff. You were trying to lay that shit in. He was trying to protect the business.
There we go. And it was just a lariat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Stan Hansen, I guess, style.
You're trying to take his head off.
So, and something funny happened in there, and I think that's when the bicep was fraying. I think that's what I felt. Yeah, but you know how it is. You take a week off, and then you just try to hit it. And I was having trouble benching 135, and then I was like, all right, I got to take this off. And then I'm having trouble benching 85 pounds. I'm having trouble just benching the bar. That
was getting
motion.
Worse and worse, right?
Yeah, and then it just got to the point where I was like, I got to go see a doctor. And I went to the doctor, and that's kind of I was like, man, I've already torn a meniscus doing this, literally throwing vertical suplex, and almost threw the guy out of the ring because I lost my balance. It popped as I was putting the dude up, and then that happened, and I kind of got pretty depressed about it. And then I was like, you know what, screw it, that's fine. We're gonna get this. It's 2018. I'll be a robot and. I'll be back.
How long have you been in the ring? You started,
it's been about
but then
4.
the music career kicked in, and so then you got back in wrestling business, right?
But you got to remember that, with my touring schedule, I've probably been wrestling for 4 years, now. But if you comprise it all together, it's probably 2.5 years in the ring because
but you're dedicated when he's home from tour.
It is
he
impressive.
runs classes on Wednesday nights, and if he's around, he's there and he comes and he trains. And, I would say you're very dedicated to it.
Dude, you're gonna hate that rotator cuff surgery. It sucks ass.
Yeah, I've got to ask you about that.
Oh no, you're gonna be in the gimmick sling with the pad right here because you got to keep it in this position.
Yeah.
And you might as well, if you got a lazy boy or something like that, might as well count on sleeping on that because you ain't going to lay down for the first week until you find your sleep position.
Oh, I got a booking 3 days later.
Dude, I watched that documentary.
Where?
I'm managing him at a show.
How many days later?
3 or 4 days later in Brooklyn, New York.
You're talking about a total rotator cuff. You're talking about Emperor Super, which is a thick end tear.
They're doing some sort of mesh thing. They're doing some sort of mesh replacement thing.
Dude,
My
don't
tendon's
go around that thing.
Oh, I'm not going to go for that at all. But Bull James.
Yeah. I talked to him on the podcast.
Yeah. So Bull started his own promotion out of Brooklyn.
Yep.
And before this even happened, he was like, dude, I want to have you guys on. And he was going to have us tag together. And then this happened. And I was like, dude, I can't. And he's like, will you please show up? And I was like, yeah, man. He's always been good to me. So
yeah, but dude, I got mine
I'm not
done.
doing anything.
But I got my rotator done. And man, great surgeon on each one of them. And I was supposed to go interview Shane McMahon in Baltimore for the podcast on WWE Network.
Yeah.
And it was after I got that thing done, I was like,
no way.
Nah, going nowhere. And I wanted to talk to Shane.
Yeah, of course.
It would have been an honor to, but I said, nah, dude, man.
Is it arthroscopic or did you get cut open?
Arthroscopic.
Yeah.
You got 5 holes in each shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's just amazing, the technology.
The doctor kind of kayfabed me a little bit though. When we went in, he was like, "Oh yeah, your bicep's starting to fray." He's like, "We're gonna snip it off, touch it. 2 weeks later, you'll be fine." And I was like,
but I feel like they're
cut
always
me in right now.
that.
Do it right now. As we're sitting here, I will hand you a knife, cut it open, and do it. If I'm good 2 weeks later, good, fine. And then he's like, "Yeah, we got to talk about your rotator cuff though." And I was like, "Great, thank you, man."
Hey, dude, you're pretty jacked up for a musician. It takes you back to the days of Kane when he was playing for Alice Cooper.
Yeah, of course.
A couple other guys. A guy named Dole for Misfits.
Oh, yeah, man. That guy's he's 54.
I caught you at good genetics.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude trains hard and stays on top of his stuff. I saw you on Mark Bell's Powercast.
Yeah.
About from 2016.
Yep.
How do you know Mark Bell? Because he's a good friend of mine, obviously highly successful over at Sacramento with Super Training Gym.
I know Jesse Burdick, the guy that was on. So Jesse Jesse used to go to like punk and hardcore shows in Erie, Pennsylvania, and that's only about 90 miles from us. So we used to go down there and go to shows like all the time. And then he actually went to college in Buffalo at Canisius. So like years later, he like, started working for Reebok. He started like designing their like lifting shoes and stuff like that. And he has like this crazy awesome gym up there. It seemed like all those dudes always have really awesome gyms up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he works out of a really nice gym up there. And yeah, like we kind of like reconnected through Matt Vincent. I don't know if you're familiar with Matt Vincent, but Matt Vincent's like another dude, like 2-time world champion at Highland Games. And then he's got a lust for life. He just wants to do everything. He just travels the world and like, he power lifted for years. His brother played in the NFL.
He has a music background too, doesn't he?
He used to tour with bands. Yeah. He used to like tour manage a band.
So were you more into powerlifting or bodybuilding?
Powerlifting, yeah, for sure.
So
like
what
he's
kind of
more.
numbers were you throwing up?
Like before my meniscus surgery, I did a 570 deadlift, which I was pretty pumped with. Like on that, because I was 38 at the time. You know what I mean? So I was pumped on that. I had a 500-pound squat, and then I was like hovering around 400 on a press or whatever like that. So I was pretty proud with that, but not like I would never compete. I'm too like small to compete in that.
No, but that's a damn good total.
Yeah,
just for like
a musician,
an everyday person that's just not geared up.
Yeah.
Question: I know you're watching wrestling since you've been about 10 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, with respect to Every Time I Die.
Yeah.
Well, what are the musical influences? First of all, from just a pure band standpoint, and then from guitar standpoint.
One is my parents were super, like, they're not musicians at all, but there was always music on when I was a kid. And I'd say like early on it was like Led Zeppelin was probably like the first thing.
Yeah,
so like, but like what's crazy, you don't like Led Zeppelin?
I never
Led
really
Zeppelin
got
guy?
into Zeppelin.
No?
They had like 3 good songs.
Yeah,
you know?
okay.
But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they were
okay.
the standard. I didn't get into Stones either.
Hey,
so
there's a door and a window. You just pick it up.
Hey, we'll dig this, rookie. Send me in. I'll reverse it.
That was great.
God damn it, take my first rodeo kid.
Okay, so it was just their music was on, and like it's funny. Like my dad's a super confident person, and like he's definitely not egotistical at all. He's a very humbled man, but like I remember when I first started playing guitar, I would be like, man, I would like listen to Jimmy Page play guitar, and I would be like, how the hell does this dude write that? So it's like that's one thing with Led Zeppelin too, is like there's like 9 songs in one song. And I'm like, how do you remember that? And sometimes when I watch like Broadway matches, like an hour-long match, how do you like how do you wrestle an hour-long match? So when you did the Iron Man match, how did you do that? Like, how do you wrestle that long and remember everything? And like, I'm sure you guys probably called a lot on the fly, but like, did you call anything beforehand?
Dude, my sweet spot on a pay-per-view was, did you ever take about 18 minutes?
Yeah.
Probably bell to bell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I stayed in that zone. I mean, you're talking about a bald-headed dude with a goatee that was best off at the system in the world. So I could tell my story in that amount of time. So, like when Sean and Brett did that Iron Man match.
Yeah.
I think the word on the street was, one of them called 30 minutes of it, the other called the other 30 minutes of it.
Okay.
And there was a little animosity between those guys, I believe, at the time.
Of course.
But obviously, they're not too much animosity because, you got to be on the same page if you're going to have a good match. Everybody thinks, oh, man, these 2 guys got heat. This is going to be a hell of a match. No. If they got heat, the match is probably going to be terrible chits because they got heat.
Yeah.
So I really can't answer that question because I was in some, probably 45-minute plus tag matches.
For sure.
And those all free for all calling in the ring, but you're splitting work with 3 other guys.
Of course.
So.
Yeah, and you're probably in the ring 18 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
But we used to, like, when you would do those like 18-minute matches, you were going the whole time.
Yeah.
Those 18 minutes. We always talk about that, like, man. And like, and you're not a small guy by any means. You know what I mean? Like you and Triple H and Rock, like you would just ding, ding, ding and go right at it for like 18 minutes straight. It was insane.
Man, that was my take on it. And I'll never forget when I had my tricep reattached and WCW, and I went to ECW for a brief time. Paulie helped me with my promos. So when I got to WWF, I was working with Savio Vega, initially. And then I was working with Brett and Sean a lot of times on top. And I was a nobody. I was the ringmaster, but they just needed someone to beat. I was either tapping out or getting kicked in the chin.
Yeah.
And but I was working with Savio for about 2 months. And if you've been off for as long as you are with the tricep reattachment, Jesus Christ, it took me about 2 or 3 months to get the ring rust off and to get my lungs back.
The treadmill's not the
You
same.
can do the treadmill, a pre-core, elliptical, you can do whatever, but it's very specific. When you start firing on somebody in the corner or kicking somebody in the corner and then picking them up, sending them in, going into with intensity,
there's no stopping.
There's nothing
it will sap your ass. But working with Savio Vega, who I absolutely love and is a great worker, Savio and I'd go out there and work second, third match on the card, and there was a couple of nights where nobody could follow that match.
Of course,
that's awesome. Chemistry, but I owed a lot of that to Savio.
Yeah.
And then, depending on when we were on the road, if you watch my high-profile pay-per-view matches, the few that I had with guys like Brett or Rock or whatever, I never blew up.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys didn't know that when I was on the road and partying a little bit too hard, I'd blow up like a bitch. I just wouldn't slow down and wouldn't sell it. So if you don't sell it, nobody knows you blew up.
I'm kind of at that. That's where I'm at right now. Like when I'll go and I'll be like working a match and I'm like, oh man, I'm feeling it. Like my lungs are about to explode. There's a dude named Kevin Bennett that we wrestle with back home, and he's like 23, and like Smash Wrestling put me in a match with him, and I was like, I'm gonna go toe to toe with him. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna do everything I possibly can. And there were times in that match where I was like, and I know Kevin really well. He helps us with our podcast. I wanted to like grab him and be like, yo, we gotta chill out a second.
Yeah, right.
But then I was like, screw that, man. I can't let this dude know I'm weak. I'm gonna go. You know what I mean?
Don't sell it, man.
And that's exactly
it. But
it.
that's the thing with working with Salvio, because he's Puerto Rico, dude, all those guys are old school.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
He was awesome.
First of all, I was working heel, he's working baby. So I had to shine him up. So we're gonna do his spots. Well, I'm gonna call him, but we're doing his spots. And then it's time to get some heat on him where I'm going to get my shit in, right? But, lay in a rear chin lock because I was huffing and puffing. And then got to feed his comeback. So I shined him up. My heat was minimal because I was resting. Now I got to flip, flop, and fly to make that comeback and go home.
Yeah.
So it's like, you get in shape pretty quick when you're working with a guy who's that old school.
Yeah.
And I dug it.
Like you said, that's the only way you can get back in shape for wrestling because you have to get in the ring.
You have to do it.
I believe about
You have
100%.
to do it. You can sprint your ass off, but if you're not in the ring, there's nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing like that.
No, that's one of my biggest pet peeves too. Is I just saw it on a show recently where like you're saying for the heel, like you're putting the heat on, blah 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 blah, and then now it's time for that babyface to get his comeback. I hate that when the heel takes one bump and then he just gets up like a sack of shit. It's like, dude, you gotta go, man. Come on.
Especially like if you've been giving heat the whole match, like it's your turn.
Man.
Like friggin' sell, get your ass up and go.
Exactly.
Take those 3 deep breaths, man, and just do it.
But on that note, when the dude gets up too slow, now it's okay. Now if you're gonna build to that, and, there's that one big bump, then leads to the frenzy. But it's kind of like my thing now is, and you're a guy who comes from the music business and now is in the wrestling business. Sometimes the formulaic comeback is copacetic, and I'm down with it. But when it just turns into the same cliche 3 clotheslines, and I've done it before,
of course.
But when they're just shitting them out, I was like, "Come on, man!"
Get a little creative.
This is when it's like almost like that old school slap the mat, white meat, baby face. You were throwing those punches, and now I'm gonna give you everything back.
Yep.
And it's that moment. It's like be a creative force and think of a different way to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
And don't just go through the comeback,
especially
emotions.
if you've been doing it a certain amount of time.
Gail's really big on that. Gail helps us. She produces the girls' matches in Impact. And she's so big on like pushing us to be more creative and come up with like different ways to do your moves or how to get into them. And like she's really big on that.
The one thing that chaps my ass these days when I'm watching even guys or gals is be just out of the blue. It's always the schoolboy or just that roll-up maneuver, which everybody's going to kick out of. I mean, with a handful of tights, man. I mean, there's not a heel in anybody. Well, I only see WWF. Ain't nobody just grabbing a big handful of tights and at least making it seem like, hey, you about to call this guy.
Yeah.
And then kick out. But it's always the cliche just roll up, and I'm like, he keeps telling them to do this shit. I ain't buying it.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Andy, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
He's learning, man.
Music,
You got a couple stories. What kind of stories you got? You got rock and roll stories. You got wrestling stories.
I have a bunch of stories.
I got a question to ask you.
Yeah, please.
We're a little, see the way I segued there?
Yeah.
You're a straight edge guy.
Yeah.
How?
You know what? It's
you in rock and roll and
Yeah.
you in wrestling. This is the greatest two careers
Yeah.
to abuse anything you want.
I know.
And I say that as a joke.
Of course. Yeah.
Hang on. Let me do another line here.
Yeah. He's on bikes. And he's into
You're around so much shit in the rock and roll business and along with the wrestling business as well.
I've always been a super observant person. And like early on in my life, I just didn't like the way drunk people acted. And it's not like there's drunks that I like. There's definitely like people that I will like. I see the real them come out, and the real them is awesome. They're just a really shut-in person, and then you're like, you know, they get a couple in them, and they become this like,
I hate that. I can't stand a sloppy drunk or a mean drunk.
But that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I know the type of people though that are just like closed. Our singer's like that. Our singer's like kind of like a closed person. He keeps to himself, and then once he has a couple of drinks, he like loosens up. You know what I mean? And like you can tell he's definitely like the real him kind of starts coming out or whatever. But yeah, I just like from an early age, I just always was like, I don't know. Like all the dudes.
I mean, that's admirable.
Of course, it is. But at the same time, it's like there's stuff where it's like, man, I probably could have got an in with this person had I just went out to a bar and drank with them. And, you know, like I remember that like the one thing that was really weird over the times that like I remember where that was a strange thing is like we played Lethbridge, Canada. And I don't know why.
God dang, I wrestled in Lethbridge, Canada.
Yeah, of course you did. But like Boss Rutan was there. He was at the show. Why was he there?
That's awesome.
We're like playing and like I look over and I'm like, why is Boss Rutan watching me play right now? This is the strangest thing in the world. And I'm like, it's not like I'm in Calgary or Edmonton. You know, I'm not in like a big Canadian town. I'm in Lethbridge. And I'm like, this is so strange. So like the show just was tunnel vision at that point in time. I just needed to meet Boss Rutan. I just wanted to like talk to him. Like, why are you here? Why? This makes no sense, you know? So gets on plane. I look over. He's gone. I'm like, God, man. But the owner of the venue's there. So we walk off. He's like, oh, man, great set, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I got to ask you a question, man. Is Boss Rutan here? And he's like, oh, yeah, I do like my own MMA thing, and he's going to like call the card. Do you want to meet him? And I was like, yeah, I need to meet Boss Rutan, yeah. So he's like, okay, come on, let's go get drinks. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, and that's like my like sweaty palms moment. Yeah. And I'm like, and we're walking up, and the guy's like, all right, what are you drinking? I'm like, I'll have a Coke. And the guy just like looks at me and goes like, this is a club owner. You know what I mean? So he's just
bummed.
Excess, you know what I mean? Like he drinks, he wants you to drink, and he just goes, a Coke? And I was like, yeah, I don't drink, man. And he was like, you got to drink something. And I was like, yeah, I'll have a Coke. And he was like, no. Like you got to drink. Get him a Red Bull. Get this guy a Red Bull. Do you drink Red Bull? I'm like, yeah, I drink Red Bull. He's like, okay. And he like hands me a Red Bull, and then I go meet Boss Rutan, and he's trashed. Drunk. I'm holding him up. He's like, hey man, what's up? And he's holding. I'm like, oh man, like Boss Rutan's so drunk right now. I'm holding him in a parking lot. He was like on his way out, and he goes, where's the drummer, man? I got to talk to the drummer, because apparently he plays drums. And then him and our drummer at the time was like the biggest shut-in like in the world, Mike Ratboy, and is like the quietest person, and Boss Rutan's like hanging on him and making him talk about drums, and he has no idea who this guy is, and it's just a drunk guy holding him in a
man,
just holding him in a thing, and just like, and then finally like they go away, and I remember like turning around, and the guy goes, the owner guy goes like, "How do you not drink?" And I was like, you just like made, this is amazing. I just met Boss Rutan. Like, this is amazing. Like, I'm happy as hell right now. I don't need to drink for this, blah, blah, blah. And it was just the funniest thing. Like,
the best thing about Boss Rutan is, he has, legendary stories of carnage and just all kinds of stuff from overseas or wherever.
Because, he was like a doorman
old
for a
school
while.
stuff.
But he's probably still one of the toughest guys walking planet Earth.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you're holding him up,
it was awesome.
Like, hey man, it's kind of fucked up, but it's kind of cool too.
Yeah, it's so awesome, man. Like, it was just in the weirdest place. Like, stuff like that happens all the time. Like in LA, man, there was like one, if you want to hear stories, there was like one time where like I was like walking, we played the Troubadour, and I was walking down the street. There was like a Whole Foods or something. This is early on. This is like 2001, 2000, right around there. And I'm walking down the street, and there's a yarmulke in the street. Like right, what is that? Sunset? Where's Troubadour?
Like
Sunset?
a dirt bike?
Like, oh, in Santa Monica? So there's like a yarmulke in the street, and I'm
like
just
a dirt
like,
bike?
Like a dirt bike? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Oh my god! I didn't get it at first. I was like, "What is this man talking about?"
Say it twice.
I didn't pick up on it first time.
Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
It was a rip.
Come on.
Yes. It's okay. It's yarmulke on the sidewalk.
So like,
It's a gimmick hat.
Yeah, and I see the thing
without a bill.
The man's on fire right now. So yeah, and I like pick it up, and I was like, "Oh, this thing." And as I'm picking it up, I hear like, "What are you gonna do with that yarmulke?" And I was like, I turn around, and Corey Feldman is like standing there, and I was like, I'm gonna give it to them, and I'm like pointing at these dudes that like, you know, I'm gonna go in this restaurant and ask if someone lost this, and he was like, "You better." And then he like hawks me, and mind you, like I'm 6'3", you know, so I'm like walking past this dude, and I'm just like. And I walk in, I was like, I think someone dropped this outside. If someone comes, can you just like go like that, right? So hand the guy the yarmulke, I turn around, I'm like, oh, there you go, Pauly Shore. He's like, you did the right thing. And I like walked away. That's the story in my head. And then about 4 months ago, you got to have this guy on your podcast. Matty Matheson, he does this show called Supper
Vice.
Time on Vice. Insane. Like a chef, and he travels the world. He's a maniac. He's the best. So I'm filming his show. They're in Buffalo. And I get this text message from a buddy of mine, Josh James, plays in Stick to Your Guns. And he texts me, he goes, yo, do you remember when we met Corey Feldman? And I was like, yeah, I literally just told this story. He's like, do you remember what you said to him when we walked away? And I was like, no. And he goes, and he just texts back, and it was like, there you go, you little fucker, is that right? Blah, blah, blah. And I just like totally just turned into like a violent guy to Corey Feldman, like swelled up to him, and then like walked away from him, and like Josh was like, that was insane. Like, when he said that to him, so I was like ready to fight Corey Feldman, but
Did you say he was like dressed real goofy too? Like he had like white garbs on or something?
Always is dressed. Yeah. But it was like the weirdest thing, like just that. I have other ones.
Well, tell me about the Good Samaritan vibe that came over when you saw the yarmulke on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
I was literally being a nice guy. I'm like the nicest person in the world.
What if there was a piece of fishing line hooked to the yarmulke, and as you were going down the region, they kept pulling it away from
big rib.
Instant turn into like an ogre.
Hello, guys. It's MMA fighter Chael Sonnen. Check out my podcast, You're Welcome, with Chael Sonnen every Wednesday and Friday right here at PodcastOne. We cover the latest in mixed martial arts and everything else going on in the world of sport. Listen free to You're Welcome with Chael Sonnen, exclusively available on Apple Podcasts, at PodcastOne.com, and on the Podcast One app. If you love the show, share it with a friend and leave us a rating and review.
All right, everybody, give me the go home cue. It's time to wrap up this podcast and ride off in the sunset. Before I do that, I want to thank Andy Williams, Braxton Sutter and Allie from Impact Wrestling, stopping by the crib today. Part 2 of this podcast is going to play Thursday, and we rip it up, kick the breeze, and we're going to rip it up, talk some more about the business of pro wrestling, and shoot the breeze. Part 2 coming Thursday with these guys and Allie. Hey, man, ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin has all my Broken Skull Ranch shirts, and the best damn IPA on the planet is Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing Company. Check it out at Whole Foods and Total Wines. It's been sold out for quite some time, so hopefully they're brewing some at El Segundo Brewing Company because it'd be nice to sell some beer, and it's a damn good beer. Hey, man, I recommend everybody have a damn good pocket knife. You can get no better knife than my Cold Steel Broken Skull knife and my new Cold Steel Working Man knife at my new Amazon store. Amazon has the best price on both knives. Just go to Amazon.com/shop/Steve Austin or go to ColdSteelKnives.com. Hey, I got to say thank you one more time to all the fine sponsors of the Steve Austin Show. That's how I'm able to do this podcast for you twice a week for free. And you can find all my sponsors at PodcastOne.com. Just click on the Killer Deals button at the top of the page and then click on the Steve Austin Show banner. Folks, until next time, my name is Steve Austin, and I will catch your ass down the road.
This has been a Podcast One production. Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.